holidays, everyone! Hope you're all having a fantastic day, because I'm here to deliver you some pretty bad news. There's pretty much no games you want to play in December. You've got one, maybe two. But let's get into it! The Dwarves is a tactical RPG based on the novel The Dwarves by Marcus Heitz. Its gameplay reminds me a bit of Dragon Age, but with just dwarves. This is your chance to live your dwarven fantasy. Steep is Ubisoft's winter sports game, glide, ski, snowboard, or parachute in this huge social experiment where you run courses, or you create them and share them with your friends, or just hang out in the virtual snowy mountain. Super Mario Maker for 3DS is one heck of a title for a video game. It's very like Nintendo. Mario Maker goes handheld after its success on the Wii U with new official Nintendo levels, but a more limited scope when it comes to sharing levels online. You can still play user-created levels in the 100 Mario Challenge, but those are random levels. You can't actually pick the created levels with keys or share them online. You can only share them via Street Pass. I mean, come on. Fury is an awesome mix of hack and slash and bullet hell. It's already out on PC and PlayStation 4. I played it, I had a blast, and now it's coming out for the Xbox One as well. The Last Guardian is finally releasing after almost 10 years of troubled development. Exclusively for the PlayStation 4, The Last Guardian is an action-adventure game where you follow a young boy and his friendly giant feathered creature solving puzzles and platforming challenges. And you'll probably cry at the end, because that's what this developer does. On the same day, on the Xbox One side of things, Dead Rising 4 comes out. Frank West is back, but he left some of the old features behind, like the timer, which seems to be completely gone from the main campaign. It'll still be present if you want to play the separate co-op campaign, and of course, with every Dead Rising come a ton of new options on how to kill as many zombies as you possibly could want. December also seems to be a good month for VR games. First up, we have Arizona Sunshine. Arizona Sunshine is a zombie survival first-person shooter. If this genre can still work nowadays, it's gonna be in VR, right? Ubisoft's releasing Werewolves Within on the same day. It's modeled after the popular party games like Mafia and Werewolf, where each player is randomly assigned a different role, and then he spends the whole game lying and tricking their friends into believing they're something else. It's an interesting experiment in VR. These party games are usually fun, I like playing them. Let's see how they do in this VR space. I Expect You to Die is a hilarious puzzle game using a narrator with a British accent. I feel like that's becoming a genre at this point. The game puts you in several different situations and has you figuring out ways to escape. But of course, these are deadly situations, and the game does expect you to die. And to close off this VR section, Star Wars Battlefront is getting its X-Wing VR mission exclusively for the PlayStation VR, along with the Battlefront expansion, which will be available across all available platforms. Rogue One Scarif offers 2 new heroes and 4 new maps, along with changes and fixes to current features. Nitro Plus Blaster's Heroes Infinite Duel is probably the best fighting game that came out this year, and it wasn't even nominated for the Game Awards. Shame on you guys. Anyway, it's been on PlayStation since February earlier this year, and it's now also coming to the PC. The YAKUZA series is a Japanese exclusive, and YAKUZA 6 is no exception. Releasing exclusively for PlayStation 4 in Japan, the criminal open world is back on December 8th. Turns out Space Hulk DEATHWING didn't come out in November, it's coming out this month. The cooperative first-person shooter set in the Warhammer 40k universe continues not to amuse me. Nintendo makes history on December 15th, launching their first actual mobile game. And no, Miitomo doesn't count. Or Pokemon Go, that's not from Nintendo. Anyway, Super Mario Run will be free to try, but cost $10 if you want to experience the full game. It's an auto runner that's not to be mistaken by Infinite Runner or Endless Runner, because the levels are not randomly generated. The levels are tailored by Nintendo themselves. This is an actually Mario game. It just happens that Mario runs automatically. It's coming out first for iOS with an Android date somewhere in the future. The first episode of The Walking Dead Season 3, A New Frontier, comes out on the 20th. Continue the story of Clementine and friends, and zombies, and clicking on dialogue options, and QuickTime events, and awkward movement. It's a Telltale game, you know what this is. The Division Survival DLC is already available across PC and Xbox One, and has been received very positively. It's coming to PlayStation 4 on the 20th. And that's actually when the year ends. It ends a bit sooner than expected. Eagle Flight is the last major release on our list, which is already available on the Oculus Rift and HTC Vive. It now arrives to the PlayStation VR, and recently Ubisoft just announced that all of their multiplayer VR games will be cross-platform, so you might actually be able to find a match. And that's it for video games in 2016. What an amazing year it's been, not just for games, but for this channel as well. We've moved into a new studio, or should I say we're actually technically still moving into a new studio. And thanks to all that's happened this year, we'll be able to bring you new types of videos as we're all working closer together. But your overwhelming support for these types of videos, the upcoming series, assures that we'll keep making them in the future. As usual, let me know what you're playing this month in the comments below. Clicking that like button helps me out a lot too. And if you're new, subscribe. Come hang out with this awesome community, because these guys are the best. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye!